Hey guys, welcome back to Terraria with Yak. How's it going? Alright, so in this video we're going to be going over how to fight Empress of Light on Calamity's Death Mode and Master Mode enabled. So, I've got a lot of things to talk about here, so I'm just going to jump straight into it. Basically, there's some changes from the previous bosses to your loadout. I want you to switch to Hydrothermic Armor and the Aureate Booster, because the Aureate Booster is going to give you more movement opportunities or more movement speed on your wings, and the Hydrothermic Armor prioritizes defense a little bit more. I'm going to talk about why it's necessary in a second here. Next is your weapons. So you want, if you have obtained the Briny Baron, just use the Briny Baron, use the right click. It's so overpowered. This boss will be a breeze if you have the Briny Baron. The problem with that is the Briny Baron is very difficult to obtain, so I am using the Terrablade in this video because it's one of the only weapons other than the Briny Baron that can keep up with this boss's movement speed on death mode. Every other weapon really struggles. You know, you'll be throwing the projectile behind the boss, or you're trying to predict where the boss is going, and it's not going to work out. The Terrablade is one of the only weapons that can keep up with the boss, but the Briny Baron, the right click homes in and it does more damage, so you might as well just use that. So next thing I want to talk about is the types of attacks that this boss has. And now you can refer to the wiki, but I think the wiki does a very bad job at telling you what attacks are which and naming them. So I've come up with better names based on the wiki. So basically, her first attack is the homing stars. Okay, these are what's on the screen right now. Those are the homing stars. They home towards the player. This is a very basic. They home towards the player and that's it. See, there they are again, the homing stars. They home for a little bit and then they stop. The next one is the clockwise stars. She spawns the same stars but in a clockwise motion, and they don't home in. The next attack is the sun dance. That's where she will sit still and she will like launch beams of light out from herself. She literally looks like a sun. You know, that attack is pretty basic. And the next three are really the most complicated. These are the Ethereal Lance version 1, 2, and 3. And basically, you don't have to worry about versions 2 and 3 until phase 2. Version 1 is when the swords will summon on the sides of your screen, and they will launch towards the direction that you are going. Okay, so if you're moving to the right side of the screen, they will launch at you from the left side of the screen, basically. Okay, now you might be wondering, well, I can just sit still and then they're not gonna launch at me because I'm not moving. Well, that's actually wrong. You actually make it more difficult if you're not moving, because they will launch at you from all directions if you're moving. So you want to stay mobile. Version 2 is where they're more close together and they all spawn at once. Okay, I'll try to spot it out if I see it on the screen here. Basically, you can only dodge them by just moving out of the range of the summons entirely. And version 3 of the lances is where they spawn in a wave, where they're all in a line, a horizontal line, and then you have to this is number 2. That's number 2 right there. Okay, number 3, I'll spot it out here as well. They all spawn in a line, and they can either come from the left, the right, the top left, or the top right of the screen, basically. Let's see if I can spot it here, though. See, there's the homing stars. There's more homing stars. More homing stars. Okay, come on. More homing stars. Okay. Maybe a sun dance here. No, clockwise. There's the sun dance. So this is the sun dance. Okay. That's version 1. Pretty easy. More homing stars. I don't know. There's version 2. Okay, this is version 2 of the lance. Basically, death mode also adds a lot of randomness, so you cannot predict the boss's pattern really anymore in death mode. So this is why it's kind of just random. Yeah. we're not going to get version 3 here, I don't think. But you will see it throughout the video. It's basically they all spawn in a line, and you have to try to fly in between the lines. I don't know if that makes any sense. But yeah, you want to prioritize movement, and just use the Briny Baron if you have it. And also use the Shield of the High Ruler, not the Asgard's Valor for this fight. You don't need to dash through anything, so the Shield of the High Ruler is better. Oh, and I forgot to talk about the reason why we're using Hydrothermic armor is because basically in death mode, her attacks overlap. Basically, that's a new feature in death mode. So a lot of times the projectiles, they will linger around by the next attack, and that creates an issue. What issue is that? Well, a lot of times you're actually forced to take damage, which meaning you, in order to dodge one projectile, you have to run into another projectile. There is one time in this video, I'll play that on screen now, where I was actually forced to take damage, and this can happen randomly. And unfortunately, with the beetle armor, using the beetle scale mail, the defense doesn't make up for this. There's just some points in this fight where you're going to realistically have to take damage, and it's unfortunate because if you're trying to do a no-hit run for this boss, this might be the hardest boss in the game, to be completely honest. But that's it for this video, guys. Thank you everybody so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.